All right, everybody, we're live here with Dan, co-founder of Immersys,
Hello,
and
everyone.
Elbops.
Yeah, both of them. How's it going, everybody?
I think some people think that they're the same thing sometimes.
Hey, Ellie Blob's got immersed, so they pretty much are at this point. But very much two different projects.
Yeah. How's your day going?
Not too bad. So we're getting prepared. We have the free weekend coming up tomorrow. So anybody can come in and try out Immersis without needing our beta pass. So we're kind of prepping to get that ready. And then we also got a pretty cool Halloween event coming up where you're going to be able to not only get two event exclusive NFTs from the Immersis collection, but some of our creators that are inside of Immersis are actually a part of like the little event that we have going on. So you'll actually be able to pick up a bunch of NFTs from them as well.
All Halloween themed, I would guess.
All of them, I believe all of them are Halloween themed, as long as they follow the instructions. I haven't actually seen everything that they've made, so but I'd imagine that the majority of them are Halloween themed. Yes.
It's pretty cool. Um, yeah, so it's free weekend, right? You already said that.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be fun to see again because I remember the last free weekend, like just everything gets wiped in the forest.
Yeah, I mean, it got crazy. I mean, surprisingly, the more that I started streaming, the more people that are kind of staying online concurrently. So I was streaming, I think Thursday, or not Thursday. I think it was maybe Tuesday, but sometime like early this week or late last week. And we had like 30 people all online. It was just kind of mayhem. Like there's people chopping down everything, running around. Everybody was getting inside of like getting in each other's path of grinding out the resources. But yeah, I mean, you could see how like we almost need to kind of expand that forest a little bit. But it's cool to see everybody. It's nice to feel like when you go into a virtual game, you see people around, like especially in like those MMO like style games. Like very often you kind of get in there and then there's just nobody. You can't really tell like who's an actual player, who's an NPC. You know, there's no social aspect to it. And I think a really big piece of a metaverse is that social aspect. So I mean, you kind of got the gaming and then heavily focused on the social aspect too.
Yeah, and then there's here, I'll put the game back up. There's the voice chat option. I think I might be covering it, but
Yep.
um I know at least when I was playing, like a fair number of people use that, and especially if like we're interrupting each other's paths, we'll be like, all right, we'll both start at the middle and go outward and then just work back and forth like that.
Yep. Yep. So that's another big thing that happens pretty often, to be honest, is people will kind of get in each other's lanes, but it's not just for bad things too, either, right? I mean, people do kind of go in there and they'll see people maybe doing the same activity as them. They'll strike up conversation, and then now they're negotiating different crafts and stuff. Like maybe they found the blueprint that they're missing, and then now you created a little friendship out of just both playing the same game in a way.
Yeah, just popping into the forest to show everybody. I think there's going to be stuff here I haven't seen yet. It already looks bigger. Maybe it's just been
Definitely has gotten a little bit bigger. So we've added like a almost like a hidden swamp area recently, and we also added a casino, which is kind of you still portal to it through the central hub is how you get to that one. But the
that sounds
yeah.
cool. I've seen that.
Yeah, well, we saw everybody in the wax community playing a bunch of poker, so we were like, all right, maybe we can create a little casino scene, have a poker table there, and then use the link that everybody uses, just like have it pop up in people's tablets so that they can start their own game and kind of play inside the metaverse in a way. I think it's like across to like the right near like where Soul is, yeah, over there. But yeah, and we've held a couple of poker tournaments so far in there, just some giveaways, especially on stream. But yeah, you want to go in there.
Oh, I backed up. I do that.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, this is super cool.
Yep. So you're in here. You can go up to the poker table, take a seat at the table. Yep. And if you inspect the table, you can click on open up the link. I'm hoping you're on the. All right, we got it. We got to troubleshoot you. It's not going to work for you. Oh, it is going to work for you. Beautiful. I
I think
wasn't
my
sure.
being slow, it's doing a lot at once.
Yeah. Yep. So, and then you can just start your game, send out the link. You can send out that link to people in the Twitch chat, or put that message of the link in the in like um, the game chat, or what have you, and then everybody can join in.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's smart to just run it through poker now. I wouldn't have thought of that. I like that's probably my favorite part about Immersys is how it's so connected to just like the open web.
Yep. Yep. So that, I mean, I go into streams and people are just like, "Oh, I can't focus all my time on a game like this." And then that's where I go, "Well, what else would you be doing?" And they'll just be like, "I don't know, like I have a lot of things to pay attention to." And then I'm like, "Well, we have a web browser right inside of the game. So if you need anything at any moment that for whatever reason that would take you away from grinding inside of Immersis, just go ahead and open up the web browser, go to the link that you need, and then you're good. I mean, you're ready to go. Uh, I mean, you can claim your Aether, you can mine your Trillium, you can collect your Shellium, you can, I mean, craft your armor. I mean, you could do anything that you want inside of Immersis. So why not be inside of here? Is the logic on it?
Yeah, I think we're gonna run a quick poker match. Yeah, anybody who wants to join, we'll do 1,000 stacks and we'll all go all in right at the start.
I
So
like that.
pretty.
I'll hop in on that.
I've actually never run a game, so this is cool to learn. This is amazingly easy.
Right? It's not too bad. I mean, it's you just approve everybody, and then you're good to go. Everybody's jumping in here.
Will it tell me when we run out of players?
And you got one more slot, or two more slots, sorry. Got Ralph in there.
Why it's trying to give them a small stack.
I guess if it's one hand, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah.
I would go into like the preferences and just set it so it's 1,000 so nobody cheats this. Let's see, where can you go? Maybe it's the game, actually. Yeah, there you go. Put that small blind at 1,000. Looks good. Yeah. There you go.
Just do.
True, right? It ends up being the same way. Small blind. That looks good though. So
We got room for one more, you were saying?
we got one more. Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe we're joining late, so it's not in the Twitch chat for them. I'll post it one more time. Sorry for kind of hijacking the interview by doing this, but I think it's pretty cool to show.
Hey, we put
Like,
it in the game for a reason.
and then I actually have. This is kind of a random giveaway too, since we're all going all in. I have a beta pass that I can give away here.
So there's a prize. There you go. We need one more. Windows created two folders. Ah, okay. I'm glad you're back in there. We're getting better and better at making that launcher not totally suck. I mean, if you were around day one, first off, we started from you having to download the game fresh every single time that we released it. Then we introduced the launcher. The launcher since then's kind of just progressively gotten better. But hey, we're in closed beta for a reason. We're still working on the majority of the stuff.
I mean, like it improves really quickly. So, and you're a responsive guy. So if anybody's having an issue, you can usually get it fixed.
Pretty quickly, normally, yeah. I mean, thankfully, I mean, I don't think many people, unless they catch us where I make stupid games and I are, you know, totally asleep. I mean, there's normally somebody in the community that'll give it a go as well because they probably had the error, first, so they can kind of pass on the feedback, but or pass on the troubleshooting steps. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, we're pretty much around the computer at all time. There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah, everything's here.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in Immersys, you can access all your games and play a game at the same time.
All right.
Right? I think
We're good to run it, right?
Yeah.
Their loss. I like my hand.
Oh, I just realized it's showing mine. I guess it doesn't matter. We're all going
Doesn't
all.
matter. We're all in. Anybody that doesn't go all in is just not good. Good luck, everybody. I got a decent hand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but there's an ace 10.
Ooh.
Queen's taking it there. Oh, it's going to be tough. Not quite. King, 3 of a kind.
Yeah.
Ralph. Congratulations, Ralph.
All right, Ralph. You wanna you could either use the Twitch chat or just DM me on Discord your wallet address, and I'll shoot that beta pass over to you.
Yeah, I guess you're bigger on Twitch, aren't you, rather than YouTube? Why am I over on the YouTube?
Yeah, I think we usually get more views, at least live on Twitch.
That makes sense.
Definitely more chat interaction on Twitch.
I'm over here sharing the YouTube link on Twitter. Oh,
We're also live on Twitter now. Miss Team Crypto told me about StreamYard's ability to stream to Twitter as well, which I had no idea about.
so I see a lot of people doing the Twitter streams, which I think that's actually super good. I mean, if you can do it, you should do it. Just because I feel like the majority of the NFT community, focuses on almost Twitter as their outreach or like their main source of social media. So if you can go live straight on there, you're probably getting more views. It's obviously not as good as of a viewing experience as Twitch. Like it's nice to be able to interact. You have to like log in, and I feel like what is it, Periscope that you're streaming through, or are you just straight up on Twitch?
It's StreamYard.
Okay, so it's just okay.
Yeah. It's like a multi-streamer. It's pretty cool. It makes everything a lot easier on our end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Ralph is looking to pass his win to someone else. So anyone else who is in the poker tournament, if you're looking for a pass, wonder if I should send it to Ralph and then he can send it to who he chooses, or we could just do a first come, first serve.
Yeah. Anybody who doesn't have a pass yet? We'll get you in the metaverse. Got my pass right before it doubled in price. Yeah. So last month we did the I think it was the 5th round of airdrops of the beta card. And it dropped the price down. I think we airdropped almost 1,800 beta passes on that one. Dropped the price down to like $3, and it's already back up to like $10 a pass. So it's kind of cool. Like I like the fact that we do kind of give out the passes for free, and then kind of build value and increase the floor price, like in this like repeated cycle that we do each time. So we kind of double the size of the community, and then try and like almost quadruple the value that we provide in that month or however long it takes before we do the next airdrop.
I
got trippy flat.
I still have one of the first 100, and those have been pretty amazing, like getting all those passes and just being able to give them away or find other friends that may be interested in playing.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about what they initially went for, obviously they started going for just something that we can't control, the speculation of items, right? But if you think about how much we sold it for, which I believe at the time was 100 wax valued at $20, um, considering that you've gotten airdrops for the past like seven, airdrops of between 1 to 2, depending on what time you got in, and every single time those beta passes have gone for at the end of their life cycle essentially $10 a piece. I mean, you made your money back in the first two, and then since then you've been selling Immersys to everybody else. So it's a pretty cool way to also allows us to judge a lot of what we're creating, and making sure that we're going in the right direction. Because I mean, it's very quick to feel stagnant in the just any actually in any online game or any in like online community, like when people aren't chatting in a Discord, or you're not getting as many likes and tweets or responses that you're expecting to get. I mean, it feels like things stagnate pretty quickly. So just being able to see growth week in, week out, each month, like
Yeah.
we can actually visually see it using our beta passes, which is nice, because
And it's
it's
cool
tough to
because
do
it's
that
like
on collections.
win-win, like you're expanding your player base, and at the same time, the person receiving the beta pass is like keen to get that away because you can either get money for it or make somebody's day. Give them a beta pass, let them play Immerses.
Exactly. There's no real negative to it at all. The only negative is, there's technically is some cost to get into the game at this point. At this point, we would love to just bust the doors wide open, get everybody in, but we're pretty focused on just like healthy growth, right? Don't let anything speculate. Like it's everything. I think when it comes to Immersives, I think most people can kind of see the progress that we're making, and then when they want to dive into it, they dive in, and I think for the most part they're staying. And I think that's a good sign, is that we're not promising everything up front, and then maybe us letting them down, because I could see how at times maybe Immersives might let somebody down, even though it feels like we've came from like nothing and made like the coolest thing ever. But I could still see how, like, if we were to hype it up, even at this point, even as far as we've gotten, it would still potentially let, some people down. But if we continue to grow, and then people, hear about the game through word of mouth, or through them getting, beta pass through giveaways, and then they try it out for the first time, maybe it feels a little bit less like they got, rope-a-doped into something, and they made the conscious decision to come in and participate in the community. It's a little bit of an easier, hurdle to get over, to achieve that.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Somebody's put in the chat a leveling system. Is that something that could be in the future?
I think as we move closer to like a standard open world game, because currently right now, if you're playing it, that we're very like room based in a way, where there's a certain amount of people in a room, and you kind of have to teleport around. It's good for just being able to, like, not have to develop an entire map and lay out everything ahead of time. It's good to just kind of take you to certain zones, and allow you to experience those different zones. But I think as we move to maybe take on the role of more of like an open world MMO RPG in a way, where it's kind of, you're not going through loading scenes all the time. You're kind of in this big world, and everybody's on a persistent server in a way. I think we may move over to more of a leveling, if we can do it properly. Because I mean, the big thing that we're doing right now, obviously, is with the blueprints, right? So the blueprints are the proof of ownership crafting system that we have in place. So they're kind of like your proof of progress in the game. So while we don't have a leveling system in the game as of now, we do definitely have a sense of progress, right? You can play the game for a long period of time. If you play the game for a long period of time, there is a pretty good shot. Obviously, the more you play, the better of a shot that you're going to find a blueprint is. And once you unlock that blueprint, it's a non-transferable asset. So we're basically just minting an immutable, like, okay, he can do this type NFT to your wallet, and then you can permanently craft something. So we basically turn our players into the creator. So we're creating this, I like to call it a creator economy, right? Where we're allowing creators to create the economy, and we're allowing players to become creators so that they can, contribute to the economy themselves.
And that's sort of the idea of Fate as well, the token, that it's sort of
Yep.
like its utility is becoming a creator in Immersys.
Exactly. So rather than just giving out a token and having it used for solely just like tool repairs or in-game like use cases, it can also pay for services to create something that you can then offer as value yourself. So depending on what the idea is that you come up with, you can pay for that in Fate. It gets developed, and then you are kind of like the creator of that content, and then obviously that value that you provide to the ecosystem rewards you, the person that kind of invested in the space in a way. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the trend. Players become creators. People playing earn Fate to become creators, or like pay to become creators in a way. And then you also have creators just creating content because we're seeing more people recognize the value of just making stuff for Immersys, right? Why just make it so that's a 2D asset on Atomic Hub? It's much harder to sell that than, oh, hey, there's a big audience of people looking for things to wear on my avatar to make me stand out or spawn into a world. People are just noticing that it's just better for them. Like they're going to sell more NFTs if they're in Immersys, right? There's a almost a draw. There's an incentive, right? There's an incentive to create stuff, and and we give them the platform to kind of take advantage of it.
I love with the blueprints too. It's not just like that you're a creator, but because they're so rare and like a bunch of like it makes them sort of get spread across the entire Immersys community. There's I know with my blueprints, I've linked up with people to like fill in the gaps and help them craft something in return for helping me craft one as well.
Right, and that's cool. I mean, I know some people don't like that they're so hard, but that's kind of what makes it so cool, right? I mean, the fact that you do have to go in the game and then you do have to interact with somebody else to get what you want. There's this bartering system. There's this natural like alliance building that you have to kind of create this chain of supply. Like if you have the tool but you don't have the resources, you're gonna have to find somebody to get them for you, right? Or you can go and directly buy them on the secondary market, which is good for everybody that has the blueprints of the resources. So, I mean, it just if you want to play a game that's gonna that fundamentally just has this built-in value for your time, Immersive does it very well because, I mean, you can come in and say you don't want to, grind and find all the blueprints. You can just go right in there, buy a tool right off the secondary market, and start grinding the highest tier, blueprint. And now you might find the highest tier blueprint, but now just because you found it doesn't mean you can make it, right? So now you have to find now all funnels back down that entire chain to help everybody that even just is picking hemp, which is the most basic resource in the game at this point.
And you can always go into, and this is how I generally find people with blueprints. You just go into the chat and you can just say like, who has X blueprint, and there's usually somebody active with the blueprint you need.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big thing you could do as well. I mean, and then our Discord's perfect for finding it. We thankfully one of our mods, Climby Moon, has made some bots. So like now, whenever like a new item gets found, actually within the last 2 days, two brand new items that have never been minted in the metaverse have just been found. So now, like in our Discord, like we wake up and see like that, like somebody just made the first like piece of glass. Somebody just found this first blueprint. Like it's kind of cool to see these metaverse verses like pop up. It's kind of like this big like it's just cool. I mean I hope one day I get to experience what it's like to be the first person to find the blueprint in the metaverse. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I think there's been a lot of additions since I was last able to get time to get on and play. So what all is in the game now?
Yeah. Yep. So we have, I would say, five main gathering activities. So you can pick plants, which requires no tools, and then you can right now like artifact hunt, but it's kind of more just digging right now. But it will eventually kind of play into more of like an artifact like finding type thing. You can chop trees, mine, and then what else am I missing here? Fish. You can fish as well. And then all of those have their own recipes and blueprints that can be found through those activities. We also recently added a little bottle that when you sit down in like a little rest spot that's in the middle of the forest, you can charge up your bottle. So if you get into combat, you'll have like a little health potion in a way to kind of keep you alive a little bit better if you decide to go rest at that spot. We also reworked the entire avatar system, so we gave you an offhand slot now, so you can have Malo on a stick there, and then you can also kind of
Malo on a stick.
yeah, and then you can kind of slot in on different areas.
How do you put the masks on? Are those are
Yeah,
still in here, right?
yeah. So those will be considered a hat. So if you go to your top hat, yeah,
Ah,
there you go.
I
You
think
got an unpainted mask. You got to upgrade that to the Immersys one. The Immersys one is sick.
which one's the Immersys one?
The Immersys one is that one right there that you're hovering over, right to the left of the mining hat.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
sick.
if you run around, I'm sure you'll
One
find somebody with it.
what do I need in the upgrade?
Yeah, so this is actually another thing that we introduced within the last week as well. So our idea is we want players to be the creators, right? So the idea of the blueprints unlocking the equipment and the equipment providing the utility in the metaverse. So for example, like this allows us to collaborate easy with other creators that want to create wearables, right? So they can create a wearable that has a blend, and based on the total supply of that blend, you'll need a shard. You can get shards between the abundant rarity all the way up to mythical. So mythical is like only like 1 through 10 max total supply, where abundance obviously infinity. But these are just essentially our skins in the game, right? So what will happen is you can take that unpainted mask that you bought from Magenta's collection. You can come to our Nifty Blocks page and buy a epic shard, because there's only actually ever going to be 50 of them that ever exist. Buy a epic shard, and then there's a super blend, a cross collection super blend for it, that will blend those two items together. So that's kind of what they do. And it allows us to allow people who find the blueprints to remain the owner of it. So they can find maybe like a sword, right? And it might be just a standard iron sword. They can buy one of our cosmetic shards in a way, or we call them magical shards, to blend it into just a different variation or an appearance upgrade for that piece of equipment. So they can choose to do that. It's not kind of mandatory at all. Like the functionality still works the same if they don't do it, but they can upgrade their equipment and be the only person that sells the cosmetics in our game too.
Show sort of what you're talking about.
Yep.
Make this a little bigger.
Yep.
I guess I could have just done this within the game. I don't know why I'm using a separate window, but
Yeah. So the epic shard is the one for that blend. And then basically what it does is it allows you to do the super blend on Magenta's collection. I could grab you the link here. And then you put on this super cool mask. I think it's probably one of the coolest ones, to be honest. Let me see here. I'm grabbing it for you. But it has like a particle effect that follows you behind, and it's a max mint of. It's actually one of the first epic items inside of Immersys. So it's kind of cool to see these cosmetics come into the game, because that's where it gets really interesting. Where is it on her thing here?
So you're saying the mythical shards are out of 10. So does that mean like 10 can only exist at once, or like items that you craft with the mythical shard only 10?
Correct. Yep. Yep. Items that you craft into using it have limited supply. So every single item that comes from blueprints, in theory, is going to forever have abundance, right? I mean, we're minting you a blueprint to somebody, and then those crafts are always going to be an abundant item. But the way that we can introduce different rarities is if you, as the owner of the item, can then purchase a shard to blend into the limited editions versions of the equipment. So think of the equipment as like the rare find, and then the shards as what cosmetically enhances them. I'm sending this to you in the StreamYard right here.
I'll just copy that.
General Moses, what's up?
That looks sick. Oh yeah, hey. Oh, also somebody, Sensei Bullrog was asking earlier how to get Fate. And currently it's only through Alcor, correct?
Correct. So currently, you can earn it through Alcor. You can also earn it by providing liquidity to the Kate Fate and Wax Fate pools. So there is 100,000 Fate going out daily to those pools. I know some people, pulled out, their Fate to move it into like the Blue Jack pools, but really, I mean, that's the only way that Fate's coming into the game. So, it's probably healthy to actually keep some of your portion in the Kate Fate and Kate Fate and Wax Fate pools. That way you're getting a portion of that 100K Fate. What we ultimately want to do is get it to the point where you got two of the masks too. Nice. So you get to keep both of them. And there's only, I think, maybe 10 more after that left. But
Yeah,
how many?
32.
Yeah. Okay, 32. Yeah. So so ultimately how it's going to work is we want to continue to increase the value of so she's got some more masks actually dropping as well today. There's a bunch of collaborations in there from different collections. If you look at the icons on the left hand side in the bottom, it'll tell you what collection got involved. So these are Halloween masks that you can equip in Immersys as well. So definitely taking advantage of that ability to add value to your collection by making it a wearable inside of Immersys. I mean, these are going to definitely do well, and I'm excited for all the content creators that did get involved in it. So they're also blends is how it works. So you have to start with an unpainted mask. I believe you have to obtain something from the creator themselves that is in on the collaboration. And then as long as you own both of them, you can blend in and create the mask to wear.
Oh, so you need to make a base Halloween mask first.
Yep.
Or
I think those ones are sold directly, though. I think that's going to be a drop that is happening in about maybe 2.5 hours or so.
Yeah, I see.
Yep. 3.5, I guess. Yeah. So it looks like there's 84 all ready to go and get going. So if you do have the K9 mask, you can get involved in the early sale. I think it was running for
If I actually have that.
a few hours or so.
Yeah, no.
Maybe not on that account, but yeah.
Which one's the K9 mask?
If you go back, I think she opened it up for some more drops. Let's see. It's kind of more of like a dog looking one. I guess not. Maybe not. I think she occasionally opens up the membership to allow more people if they want to get involved. But it's like it's actually, if you go back into the wearables on the tablet, it's the dog one in the right underneath the white X, left hand side of the masks. So it's like the ears with the cloth in front of your face.
I'm a little blind now.
Up towards the top. It's more up towards the top, and yeah, right there. Up. Left.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So if you own that, you can get into, I think, sales like almost like 24 hours early or so.
And then just to show like how quick it actually loads in game, I don't even have to reload, correct, for it to.
So did you created the blend? It should allow you to reset it.
I might have not clicked it, to be honest.
You did it there.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
It's
I
probably
would close out of go home and then just reopen the avatar app, I think, and then it should hopefully be good for you. Try going through the app itself if you could. So go click tab and then home, which is like the home button down the bottom. Yep. Yep, the little home icon. And then if you go into the V App Store, yep,
Re-input all.
avatar, and then yeah, install and then open. See if that does it. All right, I guess not. It
It's all
should be
good.
though. You could try switching to maybe the shirt and then coming back. Like just go to a different section of it and then see if it comes.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
there you go. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because what we're doing is each time, just so that you don't have duplicate items on you at a time, um, it needs to ping your wallet to make sure that it's equipable. Essentially, is how it's working. But yeah, there you go. So now, if you run around, if you run backwards, you can kind of see the particle effect that's going to follow you around.
Somebody's asking in the chat what collection this is. This is Immersys, but these masks are through. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Is it Magnata? Magenta?
It's magenta, but
Yeah.
yeah, yep. So it's Men in a Box is the actual collection of the masks, and they have that sale going on today as well.
Yeah, there's some really cool masks on that sale. I'm gonna have to set an alarm for that. I think that's I don't know, that's a decent bit before there's a I know because their avatar, they're definitely looking at it as well. There's the ETH sale for uh Bitcoin Origins today.
Oh, really? Okay.
I guess Rebel Rabbits is technically the name of the collection.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. I haven't gotten too big into it. I did buy a couple. Like I feel like after their first really big block sale, their second sale was going for super cheap. So I picked up a second, like a couple of the ones from the second one. Um, but I haven't been following that project since. It seems like it's just like every once in a while they'll do a big moment in it, and if it's affordable, I'm missing the first drop normally. I'll grab it on the secondary.
I pulled this up because I saw there were some chats, and this is just like goes to show how awesome the community is inside of this game. Like somebody's having an issue and everybody's explaining to them how to troubleshoot it.
Yep. Yep. So that everybody wants the tutorial, but I'm like, hey, there's people in here willing to. I mean, you just have to ask the question, and you have basically all the support you need inside the chat. People are willing to normally give you tools if you're new, and things like that.
Oh, Mountain Doomy's asking if there's an auto run. I don't think there is, right? You just have to hold
So
shift.
there is an auto run now. So to toggle it, you actually click on control. So it'll toggle it on, and then next time you hit shift, it'll actually stay on.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yep. So it makes your runs and your routes a little bit quicker. You don't have to keep holding down and straining your pinky to keep down that shift button.
Couldn't get anything here to show people what
Come on,
that looks
get a
like.
let's get a blueprint on stream. It's gonna happen one of these days.
Be pretty cool.
It's
I
gonna
know.
happen.
Well,
That's it.
I technically got one last time. We were talking about Immersys on stream. I just wasn't showing it.
Really? Okay, that's cool.
Girl Moses, I think. Let me
That is
just
so cool.
give them up here.
The one thing that I'm liking seeing, especially because we're creating a game that people are actually playing, like streaming. We're starting to get more and more clips of people's like nerdgasms when they're finding these drops in a way. So like you're watching their stream clip back, and like they get the blueprint, and they're like, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I want. Like and they're kind of coming in. And it's just like a really cool that like that's like what I like about gaming. Like I like that dopamine release when like that super rare like thing like pops up and you're the one that found it. So I like the fact that we're getting those clips. It's very cool. It's I don't know how to explain it, but as somebody working on the project, being able to see somebody else on Twitch streaming your game underneath the Immersys category, and then these clips popping up where they're just like having these cool reactions and just enjoying playing the game is super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. So what hints can you give us about stuff that's coming?
So hints, what can I say that's coming? So obviously we want to rework the entire layout of the entire map. So we are kind of in behind the scenes reworking the entire layout of the game. We're going to give our characters legs coming soon. So your avatar is going to be a full human body. And you'll kind of go through a standard character customization where when you load up the game the first time, you change your height, your weight, your body shape, hair color, all that kind of stuff, so that you can kind of personalize your avatar a little bit more. Let's see, what else can I say? I don't want to say too much. Obviously, we have the potion up in the top left corner. Let's hint at, like, there's going to be more that's pertaining to that. So with an empty bottle, you normally need some potions or concoctions that you'll put in there, and they may give you some bonus things. So that's what it looks like. That's what you're wearing. So it's pretty cool.
I like the animation coming off of it.
Yeah. So it's the first thing that kind of has that effect to it, and it has like a little trail to it, which is cool. And as we're seeing more cosmetics come into the game, you're going to see more personalization of what an avatar actually looks like, which I think that'll even make it more exciting, because then you'll just have this diverse full body avatar, which will be cool. Once we have the avatars, we'll start animating everything. So, that chop of the wood will actually, move the axe in your hand rather than a very static, feel that you have in the game right now. So just more movement inside the game. You'll get the running. We'll be able to introduce, monsters, so you can fight monsters for rare equipment, blueprints, and things like that. In addition to that, we have a bunch of, people reaching out to us to create games. So we're kind of organizing that to start getting started on it. Obviously, I mean, it's a lot of work. So, I mean, we make it sound easy, but we still gotta, everybody's got their own idea as far as what they want their product to look like and what they're offering. So, figuring out how to implement it in a way that makes sense and is going to be profitable, right? We don't want you to just develop something in the game that we don't think is going to do well for you and for us, because that's a lot of dev time spent on something that maybe is not worth the time to spend on it. And then let's see, what else do we have that I can reveal? Obviously, we have the Halloween event this weekend. So I would invite every single person that has not tried Immersys. It's going to be completely free. You just have to go to immersys.io, download the game. We are going to be giving away a bunch of free NFTs, and they're limited edition. If you think of like old school RuneScape, or not old school RuneScape, but if you just think of RuneScape with like holiday event items where they're discontinued after the event, we're talking that type of value that's potentially there for this weekend. So tell your friends, invite your friends, family, anybody that you want. That's kind of our big thing. We like to do one big thing a month where we kind of lead everything up. We just lead everything up to that final event of each month. But I think that's pretty much all that I can really tell you. There's some other things that obviously are just so far down the line, it's not even really worth mentioning. I think another thing is implementing fate as something that you can earn in the game through gameplay. So the idea behind that is you'll burn resources. So giving those resources another use case outside of multiple crafts, you can burn them to earn fate, or a portion of fate that gets allotted out to the game daily. That's another thing that we're pretty actively working on.
Be really cool to see. Yeah, is it going to be available on Mac? Is it already? I feel like
so. It's available on Mac if you kind of partition it. So you kind of have to use something called Boot Camp. But as long as you do that, you can play it. As for Mac development, realistically, I mean, we're a small team, and because of how we've approached developing Immersys, we don't have a big fund, right? I mean, we are literally running off of just like fumes. I mean, we really just don't have the money to do it. We don't have the money to put that time into developing or porting the game to a different system. We have time to continue to make the game awesome for what we can support at the time. And then as we continue to grow, and as we actually have money to like heavily invest in porting the game and supporting more platforms, we'll absolutely do it. It's just we can't predict when that point's going to happen. If it may never get to that point if nobody starts playing the game, you know what I mean, and supporting the project. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, if there's not somebody wanting it, why spend the time on it? is kind of our logic on it. And the way that we can tell it's working is, if we have money to pay the bills that we got to pay. I mean, it's not cheap to run this type of game by any means. I mean, like compare a 2D artist to a 3D artist, the price is just not going to be the same. They're having to go in there and sculpt and model and do all this stuff, from environment development to game development to blockchain development. Like, it's not just a website that we're paying a monthly fee and then a developer to make 1 or 2 smart contracts and integrate a front end, right? I mean, it's that plus everything else on top of it, and a multiplayer server and all that on top. I mean, and the team, I mean, has expanded from we had like 2 people like the beginning of this month to like now we're up to like almost like 10 people at this point. So, and I don't see any other way other than to do it. So when we get the money, we're spending it to improve the game. But if we don't have it, then we kind of have to, hold our what am I trying to say? Just hold our teeth or whatever, not teeth, clench our teeth and try and get through it in a way.
Makes sense. And for anybody who wants to play it on Mac, like, I think the reason I was thinking it was already available, I use a virtual machine and I play it on my Mac, because you could just allocate like a certain amount of your max computing power, get a virtual machine. I think mine's free through where I went to university, but I'd imagine there's some free ones out there that you could still get it on a Mac.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely ways to do it. It's just, we'll we'll get there when we can. It's absolutely something, like, we know that we're in an area where a lot of people are artists. So a lot of people most likely do have a Mac, because it's just much easier and much more user friendly for that artistic side of somebody. Like from video editing to Photoshop to all those different types of applications that just kind of are sort of like focused or hyper focused on a Mac, device. It's, we know that a lot of the audience has it. It's just, it's not as easy as, flip a button and do it. It's almost like everything has to be, brought over to it.
Yeah, which I feel like the expectation sometimes is that putting something on Mac and on PC is like flipping a button, but yeah, I imagine it's a lot more than that.
Yep.
Not just like a few lines of code and it works on Mac all of a sudden.
Yeah. So there's definitely some effort that goes into it. We'll get there. It's just right now, I mean, I think we're happy with the growth that we're going at. And I mean, as long as we continue to add stuff that people want in there, I just don't see it not growing to the point where we can obviously do that port. Right. So rather than spend the money on the port right now, we're kind of, like I said, we're kind of bootstrapping everything. So why spend it on that when we can't guarantee that that's going to be what grows us? We can kind of see what's already working for us and then kind of grow in a healthy way.
Sounds exciting. So I guess one of my last questions would be, where do you see Immersys being in 5 years? I feel like there's so much that can happen. So
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest visions for Immersys is, obviously there's the play to earn, the gaming aspect of it, but I think what we've kind of transitioned into Immersys is being a metaverse ecosystem. So when I say ecosystem, I was reading this really cool article on Medium about the 7 layers of the metaverse, where at the outer rim of the metaverse is the gaming, entertainment, commerce, social aspect of it. And then as you kind of go in through the layers, you kind of have more like social media, real estate, like e-commerce, and then you have like the technology involved with it, AR, VR. Then you have like the actual infrastructure, so like Web3 and like 5G and all that stuff. I see ultimately Immersys kind of being this metaverse ecosystem where we try and get involved in as much of the technology layers of a metaverse as possible. So whether you want to go shop in a shop, or buy an NFT. So decentralization is another major part of the metaverse. So focusing on decentralization of certain things is a big focus. The gaming, entertainment, like you want to be able to come in here, listen to your music, watch a live virtual concert, watch somebody on Twitch, like consume your media inside of the metaverse. Gaming, entertainment, like VR, being able to play the game wearing a VR headset, being able to spawn out a 3D item in 3D space, and then when you want to show your friends the loot that you got inside the game, be able to spawn it out in real life using an AR app on your cell phone. I see us kind of doing like kind of this interconnectivity of real world and virtual world, from everything from entertainment to commerce to just everything. I mean, that's ultimately the big picture of Immersys. Is it's not just this play to earn game. There's just it's a massive project, an ecosystem of a ton of different technologies that we think are going to kind of totally innovate and revolutionize the way that we view the world, essentially.
I was going to show real quick. You mentioned spawning stuff in, and that's already something you can do in the game.
Yep. So NFT Explorer is the app here.
Okay. Not the NFT wallet now.
NFT Wallet's going to tell you the items that you collected inside the game. It should be under collections, I think. Yeah, NFT Explorer. Yep. So you probably got some Ellie blobs.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that's the safe one. Yeah, we stuck us all the way in the back.
This guy's my favorite.
So you'll hold right click and drag the. Yeah, there you go. Yep. So that's digital ownership in a way that most people understand it, right? I mean, this is something that you own in your own Wax wallet, and you can spawn it into a virtual world where other people can see it. They can inspect it. They can verify its authenticity. They can verify it's yours. They can go and see what the price is if they want to go and try and grab one themselves. Like you just it gives you a space
on it. You ask your template, like, yeah. I think the first time I hopped into Immersys, started playing around with all this stuff, is pretty mind blowing that there's so much. Like, there's more than I feel like we could even get through in the hour that we've been on. Like, just
that's the other thing is, like, I feel like if people didn't know that we were working on Immersys, they would still maybe not even like somewhat understand that this is what could happen, right? Like if we did not work on Immersys, like nowadays it just feels like, oh yeah, Immersys is doing this really cool thing where you can like spawn out NFTs and play a game. It's like a virtual world and yada yada yada. But like, I feel like we're definitely still one of the first games to be actually utilizing NFTs, sort of the way that William with like Wax kind of was promoting in his videos like 3 years ago when I first not first got on Wax, but that I was watching when I first got on Wax. I was just like, man, this sounds so cool. Why is nobody actually doing this? And then now it's in here, and you can actually now it makes more sense, I think, to most people. Like, I almost think they just kind of assume that now, like, that's just what's going to happen. But it's kind of cool. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I mean, there's even the interactive drone that I'm showing now. I think that's awesome. I could like scout out paths and
this is something that's an NFT, right? So this is something that you have to purchase as an NFT, and then it unlocks the utility inside of the metaverse.
Yeah, it's like just everything within Immersys is like what NFTs are meant to be doing. I feel like, especially from a gaming aspect.
Yep.
And just like a digital world aspect.
Yep. And I think as you see like these events, like as we open up like almost like a amphitheater or like a movie theater or something along those lines, and we and as artists want to sell their own tickets as NFTs, like we can set aside and update the game so that when you go into that event for that week, it could be your favorite band like that's got like a virtual concert going on at some point where you just own the NFT that functions as the ticket that allows you access into the event. I mean, there's like, I think that's got so much potential. Like, think about how cool that would be if you go on an Atomic Hub one day and like the banner is just advertising this like virtual concert for everybody on Wax to come into Immersys and then go they go buy their ticket, and then everybody's in there on their avatars, all decked out in all their NFTs that they already own, and watching a live concert, or watching something else happen, or some other, or attending a different event or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with the VR aspect, you could get the artists like actually up there dancing and
Yep.
yeah, and watching their audience all virtually. It'd be yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of where, for sure, in 5 years, I think that is the role that we want to play, right? We also want to be multi-chain, right? Like we want to, because we can. Obviously, the core function of the game, like the NFTs and stuff, they won't leave Wax, because Wax already does it extremely well. But just being able to move into accepting your ETH NFTs inside of here, or a BSC, or any other, your EOS or anything like that, just
Yeah,
bringing everything in here. I mean, there's no reason to not do it, right? There's literally no reason. If we can provide the world, and then and then they can use these NFTs that they own. I mean, there's no reason not to do it.
yeah. If you could, thinking about the concert, you could like stage dive virtually.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
nothing's stopping you.
yeah, all that sounds really cool. Um, just trying to think of like what else. I mean, literally anything could exist in
Yep.
a virtual
Anything.
room.
I mean, that's the thing that I hope, like, people start seeing, like, I mean, we're pretty willing to allow anybody to, so if they make something, right, themselves, I mean, it saves us time, right? Especially right now, because we're so early in on this thing, right? If they make something themselves, it gets in a lot quicker. So I don't know if you've ever been in the crypto chibis like marketplace, but it's like this island area where they set up all their products, and they made the scene themselves. You can't do that anymore, unfortunately. But you may be able to quit the menu and just log back into the game. That might work. But
It'll be faster than running back.
yeah, faster than running back for sure. As long as that works, hopefully. Yeah. But like, if you have somebody, or somebody that can make like a Unity scene, and you make your own game, like, without even us knowing that you did it, right? Yours can get implemented into the metaverse, if you want, so much quicker than one that we have to spend the time to develop and create ourselves. Yeah,
Look at
it's the
this market
bread.
over here.
Yeah, the market here. But yeah, so that's like one of the things. Like, if you want to have, like, I'm trying to think, like, even the game that you're interested in, like, we, I'm not saying to do this. I'm just using it as an example. But we can bring in, like, if you already had the game made, we could just bring it right in, and link it up, so that any NFTs that you have associated with the game function in the game the way that you need them to. We basically just verify the wallets own what they have. Yep. So if you go into crypto chibis right here, so you'll
Walk
go
into
into
it.
the
Go,
door. Yep. Yep.
hopefully, yeah.
That's the other one. But that's fine.
Oh, yeah. I went in the wrong door.
Yep. And these are an example of a virtual marketplace. So these things kind of function as these 3D websites. So, if you have a storefront, like a physical storefront in the real world, and you want to bring your brand, your culture, your layout, your, like, certain look and style to the metaverse, you can kind of bring that in, and we can make it however you want. It's permanently in here. It's stored on the blockchain as an NFT. Your ownership of the store, of course, not the actual like world that you're in. That's not going to be stored on it, but the actual ownership of the storefront is what you own. And then we can line it up with all your products. It can sell, physical, digital. We can get you links to social, all that stuff in there.
Oh, this is amazing. I can just click that or click here and just purchase. And I'm guessing, yeah, it just brings me to their drop site.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you can purchase them. I mean, is that not just an amazing purchasing experience, compared to just going on a website and clicking the link? I mean, this is like, now what Crypto Chibi is all about. Like, mentally, is that what you pictured Crypto Chibi to be? Like, that's not what I pictured. I pictured just like animals. Like, I pictured more of a zoo, right? But now it's more of like a foresty island, like tropical, exotic animal, style of a a collection. Which I think that's the cool thing is like these artists, these businesses, they can recreate what they're trying to get through to you. I there's this one game, I don't know if anybody's ever played it, called Telestrations, and I used to think that I invented that game. Not gonna lie. So the way it works is you just the way that I had everybody do it when I was young is you just write a phrase out on a piece of paper. You pass that phrase to somebody, and then they have to draw the picture, and then then you pass the picture to the next person. Then they have to draw or they have to write the phrase that they think was drawn, and you'd get around the circle, and the story would just be so distorted as the end result. I think being able to allow people to create what they're trying to express in a 3D world is much more, it allows you to picture and imagine exactly what they want, rather than kind of like assume what they want. Right now, anything 2D, you're just kind of assuming the entire story. But once you kind of get in and actually experience it, you start to actually understand it a lot more. And I think that's what helped us come to this idea. I mean, I Make Stupid in Games, and we were doing virtual offices, right? And the nice thing about working in a virtual office is you don't just have a pen on a whiteboard. You have a pen that can draw in 3D space. So if we need to draw our idea out to you to get you to understand what we're trying to do, being able to draw it in a 3D space gets the message across way easier than on a 2D surface. So I think as we get more into like 3D and bringing NFTs into a 3D space, I think a lot more people will start being like, wow, like this can really be as big as people kind of write down on a blog or say in a video, right? Like once they get in there and start to experience it, I think they start to understand.
I just had another idea for something we could try to do. I was going to ask if we could run a giveaway toward the end of the stream, but I can probably get. Can I run Crittercraft
You
on?
can. Yeah. Yep. So you could do Crittercraft if you go in there. I think you could just Google Crittercraft, to be honest, and then it'll search the Google and then you can pull it up. I don't know the exact link for it.
Got it. I just had to. Here we go. Are we the first to do this, or have you already done this?
I have actually been utilizing this. So that's one thing actually Immersys is actually lacking quite a bit is like streamer games, like the connectivity. So like I've just been resorting to using the browser and this, like everybody's playing marbles and like Stream Raiders and stuff like that. But because, I can't pull that application up inside of the
Can you do
game,
streamer
I've just been doing
on a
this.
browser? A
Is
browser?
it?
I think
Is it?
so.
Okay. That'd be a cool one to start maybe doing then, because you could just have it in the background. Like when you close the browser and you go to different areas inside the game, you're not losing your browser. The browser stays with you. So I could be gathering for all 30 minutes of the Stream Raiders and then pull up the raid when we need to do it.
I'll put that in here after we run this giveaway. Because yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'm curious. I did not know that. I thought it was a Steam game, to be honest. I just assumed it was a Steam game. It looked
Yeah, it looks like a
so
Steam game.
yeah.
Um,
That is super cool. I did not
yeah,
know
that would
that.
be a cool one to run in here. I need to get more involved with Stream Raiders and actually start doing that. I always forget to boot that up.
Yeah, I never really understood it. I just knew that it happened. I didn't participate in that. I was admittedly I was doing the marbles. But yeah, now that I know that it's a browser game, why not? Why not? I'm talking both Scurvy Dog. So if you have a Unity project or game, for the most part, we can kind of tell you what you need from our side of it, like the certain um, project like details and things like that that you just kind of just have to develop around, like the parameters, and then you can create it yourself.
Oh, so y'all, this runs through Unity.
Correct. So it is all made inside of Unity. Yes.
So just anybody with a Unity game could essentially. get it in here.
Sort of, yeah. But yes, I mean it's as long as we give you, some of the things that you would need to know, you could do it. Yes, yeah. I mean, the crypto chibi made this entire scene. There was very limited, interaction. That's why things kind of float around and have their own effects in it. Like that would take us a ton of time to do, whereas they just know how to do it, so they were able to make it, and then we were able to import the seed into it.
That's awesome. That makes me thinking that maybe I should start learning Unity.
Right? Hydropower. I expect a stream from you. Just come in here, do the event, uh, grab the NFTs. I think there's going to be 13 NFTs at this point. I think the number's up to 13 for free. You just come into the game, tell your friends. They don't need a wallet. They don't need anything to download the game. They just download the game. The game will teach them how to set up a Wax wallet, and they get their first 13 NFTs minted to them. They don't need to pay for RAM. They don't have to pay for CPU. They don't have to do anything at all. Just come in, collect them, limited edition. Everybody come in.
So if somebody already has a beta pass, like for myself, I could just come in and I just
Yep,
have to come in over the weekend and I get them all.
Yep, doesn't even matter. Yep, you do not need the beta pass for this weekend.
That's awesome. I'm gonna be telling everybody I know the games, because I mean,
You just have to.
free stuff.
Yeah, it's free stuff. You just go in there. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to actually take you to do it. I'm sure there'll be people in there helping you, guiding you through how to complete the little quest. But yeah, you just go through it all, and you'll come out with a bunch of free NFTs, and it's cool. It's interactive. You'll see a bunch of other people in there, and it'll be cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm expecting to break some records here this weekend. So the number to beat is 30 people online at the same time. If we can do that, I'm happy. That's the goal this weekend. Just keep growing. If we can do it, we can do it. That'd be great.
Like a beatable goal.
Sounds beatable, right?
Yeah. What was the last free weekend? How many unique players showed up?
So I think at the highest we had 28 people online. We had daily active users. We had 225 unique users on both days. Right now, we're sitting around, I think there's about 140 daily users that are coming in and playing every single day. So you're not alone. That's a big thing. I do like to preach it, because you can go into Decentraland and see nobody in there, right? Like when you go in there, you're going to see people, playing the game and be able to socialize and interact with people inside of here. That's what I'm kind of hoping you get to experience. Is there ever going to be a third person camera? Yes, you'll have 3D. I think it's almost important, if you're going to have an avatar all decked out and cool stuff, it's important to be able to see what your character looks like. Yep.
That's exciting. Maybe that comes when the legs do. I actually didn't realize that we don't have legs. I don't know why that, like, I feel like my brain was just filling them in.
Well, I made a tweet today because I was going through, because Facebook was doing their reveal of what a metaverse was going to be, and I was watching one of their old promo videos, right? And like their commercial has an avatar with literally no legs as their like metaverse like character avatar. So I was just like, who did it first? Like who actually made a metaverse with no legs first? And it was Immersys. We beat Facebook to it.
I forgot they're building a metaverse. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, they're getting $10 billion in funding. We're running off like $5,000. Yeah, exactly.
All right, I think we have enough entrants to get this going. And here, I'll show everybody what they are playing for. Let me just pull it up real quick. And so that we're playing for these NFT Gamer TV tickets, and there are actually a few beta passes if you get lucky on your burn.
So how do those passes work?
You go to nftgamer.tv/theme, and log in, and it will show I can log in to show what I got.
See, I didn't know this. I'm sitting on a couple of these tickets, and I had no idea that there is
Yeah.
a redemption page. Maybe I should have looked at that immutable data, huh? All right.
Yeah, we also got it written on the tickets as well.
Okay. All right. Or just look at my NFT that
yeah. And I believe if you scan the QR code, it takes you there as well.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess I should have immediately thought, what does this do?
Yeah, I guess we kind of, maybe that was on me, because I kind of just, like, anytime I see a QR code nowadays, I scan it, because you never know. Maybe I should be a little more careful, because maybe it takes me to, like, a bad site sometimes, but I've yet to run into that issue. I scan any QR code just to see. I don't know. I think they're super cool, and I love to see what people are doing with them.
Yeah, I need to kind of add that to my like routine of things that I do. The one thing I like about the Anchor wallet is the Anchor wallet works perfectly fine inside of Immersys because it has that QR signing ability.
Yeah.
I wish Anchor wallet would get something like that for us because that solves all our problems if they can do that. Then we can actually get you signing on-chain transactions inside of here.
I could use my phone and just scan the QR in the game. No.
For Anchor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying Wax Cloud Wallet. Yeah. If Wax was able to do that for us, if they were able to set up something where you can scan it and then sign the on-chain interaction, that would be killer for us. That would be amazing. Because then we can basically change everything to have. We can change more things to just be like you interact with an NPC and then you swipe the transaction on your phone or on your Anchor wallet to post it on Wax.
Yeah. It'd be cool to, like, if y'all were ever able to, probably take a lot of work with Anchor, but like integrate the Anchor app into Immersys and you just sign it like in the game.
Yep.
I have no idea how complex that would be, but
well, that's the point. If we could do it for both of them, then I think we would switch over to it. But like right now, Anchor, you can sort of do it. Mountain Dew, congrats. I saw that spin.
You know, if you can copy the.
You cannot, though. Unfortunately, that is the downfall. And I know that this is something that, hey, you normally mess it up anyways, right? You go and click dance off. No, I'm just kidding. But
so it
no,
doesn't really make sense to me. I think we've got Jimmy's address as well, so we'll get him a ticket.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool that you can just run this in here, and then just to show that Stream Raiders does work.
Yeah, let's see that because that's cool. If you can, which I don't see a reason why it wouldn't. Now that you're saying. Okay, so you would have to sign into the Discord or no?
No, I click copy message link instead of copy link.
Okay, so let's see. I wonder how this would work though, because you do have to sign in with Twitch. Does it recognize that you're on? No, you would have to sign in, but yeah.
But still, I just get that prepped before stream.
Yep.
Is it persistent? Like if I leave? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Even if you leave the rooms, you can do it as well.
That's good to know.
Yep. So you can be gathering and have your giveaway in the background while you're playing.
Yeah, and then just pop it open at the end. That's like perfect for Stream Raiders, honestly.
That's what I do when I'm streaming nowadays. So
yeah,
you have your giveaways in the background, and then you're playing the game, and then you pull up the giveaways when you're ready.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on today and for telling us everything there is to know about Immersys. I mean, for anybody listening, there's more to know. Just get in the game, look through everything, and I mean, you could spend a whole day just trying out new stuff. Honestly, 'cause there's so much.
Every week there's something new. So it never gets very boring. As soon as it feels like it's the same, there's an update that next following Saturday, and everything's different the next day. So, I encourage you to try it out. If you want to invite your friends this weekend, totally free to play.
Awesome. Any words before we sign off?
No, I just appreciate you allowing me to come on the show. I had a pleasure talking with you and interacting with the NFT gamer TV community. And I hope, hopefully, I see the majority of people probably every single day, anyways, already. So, but I hope I continue to see everybody.
Awesome. Thanks everybody for showing up, and thanks for being active in the chat. It always makes the streams like a ton more fun to have some interaction in the chat, some questions. Yeah, so thanks everybody. And thank you, Dan, for coming on.
Thank you.